Look at that. See, that shutter guard is like dented. So yeah, if you can see there, there's like a big fingerprint. So it's been time for me to get a new camera for a while now, and I've been thinking a lot about it, saving my money, trying to figure out which camera to get. And I decided I'm going to be getting the R6. The R6. And I think it's a really great camera for minimalist reasons because you don't have to get two different types of memory cards for it. You just use two of the regular SD cards, and the file sizes aren't huge, so that's going to help with not having to buy multiple hard drives and whatnot. So I thought a lot about it, and this is what I decided. I was going to get the R6, and if you didn't know any better, you would think I have my R6 right here, but this R6 is not my R6. At least it's not anymore. It was supposed to be my R6. So here's the story. So I like buying used. I buy a lot of my microphones used. I buy my lenses used. I buy a lot of used gear. But for the most part, I don't think it's a great idea to buy used camera bodies because if the sensors are not clean, if they're scratched, if they're not well taken care of, I don't want to have to clean them myself. I don't want to have to send them in to get cleaned. And yeah, my greatest fears came true. I went on eBay and I bought this R6 for $2,400 after tax. So I was like, great, because if I buy it from a store for $2,500, $200 tax, that's $2,700. So I guess I saved $300. And hey, $300 is great, but it's not worth the peace of mind, in my opinion, at least now, because this sensor came with a fingerprint on it and scratches on it, and just it hurts to see that on the camera, especially one as beautiful as this. And also, not only does it have that smudge and the fingerprint, if you look right in here, like that shutter guard is like, look at that. See, that shutter guard is like dented. Like, it's clearly not in amazing condition. Actually, here, let me turn it on. I'll show you the horrible sensor. So yeah, if you can see there, there's like a big fingerprint. There's also scratches. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but there's some scratches on it too. And also when you turn it on and you move it back and forth, there's like something a little loose in there, which, you do not want to hear that when you get a new camera. So this camera was clearly dropped and someone for some reason put a big thumbprint on the sensor. I have no clue how that kind of stuff happens. But I contacted the guy that I bought it from for eBay. He said he had a few of these because the photo clearly showed a clean sensor. It didn't show this. But he said he has a few of them. He has a store. He had them in displays. And he said he didn't check this one before he sent it out. The other ones that he took the photos with, he did check. I believe the dude. He has like 300 five-star reviews on his eBay account. And he very quickly responded. He apologized. He said send it back. You know, he understood, hey, this is a big purchase, and he obviously didn't check it before he sent it out, so that's on him. But you know what? Lesson learned, even though I love buying things used. Actually, also, this is a used shirt I got at Goodwill today. I hope you like it. I love buying things used. I just can't recommend you buying your main camera that you're going to be using professionally used unless you can look at it beforehand, unless you can see and make sure it's good to go. Because yeah, that was scary to see that it was in this condition, and thankfully it's going to be taken care of though. So lesson learned. So we're going to send this back on Monday, but you know, I need a new camera. I've been waiting for a while. So I'm going to go walk down to the camera store down the street, and I'm just going to buy a brand new one, and I'm going to eat that $300 and have the peace of mind that nobody put their thumbprint on the sensor. All right. Now hopefully this one is going to be better than the other. Man, my face is red. You still hear the little bit of a clanky when you kind of move it back and forth, and the guy at the camera store said that was because these have IBIS in-body stabilization, whereas my EOS R doesn't have the IBIS, so the sensor can't move around at all. But basically, IBIS just means that the sensor can move around a little bit so that it can kind of counteract your little tiny micro jitters and hand movements. So that's great. That's one of the reasons I want this camera, is so that I can do more of this vloggy stuff and it's not so shaky. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this camera works. Like I said, the reason I got the R6 is because it only has 20 megapixels, and for me, that's a good thing because I have a 30 megapixel camera, the EOS R, so I can still get some pretty high resolution photos. But then the 20 megapixel camera, because it has less megapixels, it's better in low light. So that means I can go higher ISO and I can get higher quality images with my video with less noise in them. Where the EOS R, when I'm at higher ISO, gets a little grainy, it's not amazing. We have dual card slots with this bad boy, so in case one card decides to blow up or something, I got an extra one, which is awesome. And I really like that the R6 has two of the same memory cards, because the R5 and the R5C, even though I would love those cameras, you have to get the different type of memory card for your second memory card, and I don't want to be running around with more memory cards and more memory card adapters to get the files off and whatnot. And it's great to have just a little bit smaller of a file size, because 20 megapixels is more than enough. I shot on the 5D Mark II for a long time that has a 20 megapixel sensor. More than enough, more than enough. And this will be more than enough too for photos, and files won't take up a bunch of space on my hard drives. So yeah, that's that. Excited to see how this works. The next videos you'll see me shooting with this bad boy. And I guess the moral of the story is, don't buy used cameras. I can't really tell much of a difference. I mean, it makes me happier that I'm using the R6. I can't say that I can't say it looks much different, but I'm definitely happy. I feel more fulfilled.